they just have so many units now. These abominations are really, really nice for surrounds as well. So really a strong position again for these undeads, as long as they can just continue pushing now. And this Tinker, obviously with the magic immunity, can only do so much, and these destroyers are going to move in again, but obviously you're scared away by the Dryades, and these abominations can do a lot against Dryades, especially when they're crawled up like that. And looks like they might, the undeads might just try and go for the mineral line now, considering there's this weak point where the watchtowers don't really have full coverage, and these destroyers need to be careful not to run into the range of the watchtowers though, because they will take a whole bunch of extra damage. And some low fiends here actually probably should just be microed back for the next battle, really. The Torn Chieftain being bought back at the tavern, and being healed and clarityed up, but still doesn't have enough mana for even one shockwave quite yet. And it looks like actually, did he drop he dropped an item, I think, to use a healing potion, but then, or a mana potion, but couldn't quite pick it back up in time. Or he eventually picked it up, but it was very, very late. You know, a nice and snare and shockwave there, and it looks like actually a couple of these low units, they probably should have been microed back for the next battle. Instead, maybe they thought they could have ended it there, and they did manage to take down the expansion, so that's pretty nice for them. But at the same time, they did lose a couple. The undeads did lose a couple more units they probably needed to, and it looks like we will be seeing another retreat here for the undeads while they just try and heal up. And still only one acolyte here mining, and actually only 3 here, maybe 4 here eventually, and actually a 5th finally coming now. You know, just it's so slow coming here for this for our grey undead, who's really so far behind in economy. He's really slowing down his team in terms of actually managing to buy back those fiends, and and actually statues as well. You know, lots of Ancients of War being built. Really interesting here. Going to be very nice tanks. Going to really cause problems, because obviously those fiends only have 550 range, so it's a bit tricky to actually try and get them in range of some heroes, which if you just keep them far enough back, they'll have to run through the Ancients of War, which are just really so annoying to try and or to try and sort of navigate between. So very nice strategy here by the Alpha. I really do approve of this, especially in conjunction with those Dryades, which are obviously really high DPS. You can just keep them a bit behind those Ancients of War, and by high DPS I don't like, they actually don't do much damage at all, but just that sort of over a long time they do a long they do a huge amount of damage just from their poison. And so if you can actually get them if you can be in a situation where there's a very long battle going on, such as if your opponent has to kill a whole bunch of Ancients of War first, then the poison effect does actually become vastly more powerful. And looks like this Tinker actually going to try and take down this gold mine, but he realizes he probably won't be able to in time, just considering there are some acolytes repairing here, so he does have to get out of there. But really nice play there by the Tinker. Going to force this guy to repair on top of everything else, and he's been having a lot of money problems as it is. And these Ancients were in a very good position for where this attack seems to be going on by the undeads, and I think they could be playing a bit more passively, just trying to set up another expansion maybe away from these Ancients of War, where the Ancients of War couldn't really get to in time. So their opponents would be forced to fight without the Ancients of War, which would be very nice. And it looks like actually this Tinker now actually does have an invisibility potion, which is a nice thing to have. Consider he does need to be careful of obviously just being devoured by the destroyers. But assuming there's just too much going on in these battles, which there's just so much going on in them, it's a fairly safe bet that he can just get away using that, and it's always a pretty nifty thing to do. And look at this Torn Chieftain getting very close to 7, and obviously that aura is so nice. I keep on talking about how nice auras are in 2 versus 2. They're just so powerful, so much more powerful than 1 versus 1s. And it looks like this abomination actually going to be focused down, and this Tinker just doing so much nice damage, and these Dryades actually being forced a bit back now, but just obviously you just need to attack and then reposition, just trying to get to those destroyers and the statues. Those are basically the 2 things you want to be getting with your Dryades at this point in the game. And these Ancients of War did manage to get forward, which is very nice for them, and this is just going to mean they can put down so much damage. Animate Dead being used yet again, really so rare to see it even once, but 3 times in one game. Absolutely amazing, with Torn Chieftain now hitting 7. Very nice. This Tinker taking a lot of damage, but doing a lot of damage to the Death Knight as well, who uses an invuln pot, and it looks like this Tinker just being trapped a bit by his own Dryades, and so eventually managed to get away, but he's down to 170 hit points. Will he manage to get away using an invisibility potion? Very nice, as I say there. Very smart play. And look at actually this Shadow Hunter now at level 5, still only 675 health though, so really a tremendous target to be focused down by the all the coils and novas and fork lightnings and everything. And these Animate Dead's actually finally running out, but they probably should have just been sent to attack. I mean, there's no harm in just setting them to do a tiny amount of damage, because obviously it doesn't matter if there's nothing your opponent can do about it. and some towers being set up here. We're going to see a very, very late expansion here. I'm not sure, it could be the elf, he does have this wisp here, but obviously at the same time, a tiny grid hall is just such a powerful tool if you can use it. But it looks like neither side has got one, or neither player is looking to expand quite yet. I think that's because they're just at such low food counts at the moment. They need to be building up their armies instead. Actually, the elf is at 50, but the orc is at 21 food. So, this undead at 39, and actually a nice shockwave there, showing what shockwave, what his initial shockwave should have done. Going to take down at least one ziggurat, but the ziggurats really are the problem now. Ooh, looks like the Shadow Hunter in a very bad position, gets called, gets nova, goes down, and now there's Tauren Chieftain on the run as well. I think that attack wasn't the best choice of things to do, and actually this Tauren Chieftain now being forced back. I think his reincarnation is probably back off cooldown now. I'm not 100% sure, and actually, yeah, it should be. I can't remember last time it was used. I think it was a while back though. And these droids still only with one attack upgrade. And I wonder, are we even seeing anything beyond a Tree of Life from this elf now? No, I don't think so, which is a bit of a shame. Just because it means he can't buy healing potions and stuff. He needs to rely entirely on the Voodoo Lounge for that. And we are now seeing. Luckily, you're just gonna go for a regular expansion even, which is a bit odd. I guess it's a bit cheaper, so it can go up a bit faster, but you actually start mining this so much faster than a tiny Great Hall. And considering you spent all that money on towers, it makes sense to start that expansion, or get that money expansion mining as soon as possible. We know a lot of focus on this Tauren Chieftain, who does get healed up eventually, and does have to go back and heal, and then rely on his army, or his allies' army, to do all the fighting, which is just not a position you want to be in. Really smart play here by these undeads, and it looks like actually these Dryads finally being focused down, just sort of one by one, but it's not the best use. Ooh, for lightning, and coil going off on that Tauren Chieftain, he just stays alive. He does have a healing potion as well if he needs it, and we have a nice focus there on that Shadow Hunter. Does go down, and the Tauren Chieftain now in a lot of trouble as well. Does pop that healing potion and will just manage to get away, maybe? Yes, he does. Very, very nice with no mana as well, and so it looks like we will be seeing these droids maybe managing to flank these destroyers, do a bit of damage now, and oh my god, another coil nova goes off on that Tauren Chieftain, but he does get his reincarnation, and looks like this Death Knight now in a bit of trouble, will have to run away. But obviously that Tinker not the fastest unit without any boots against level 3 aura. And I assume he got he did get level 3 aura, which means no death pact, which is a bit of a shame, but I guess when you have this unit, it's not the end of the world. And the Tauren Chieftain now is back with a vengeance, full health, full mana, and some nice burrowed fiends. We've been seeing very nice micro all game long of burrowing at least, and it looks like a nice coil goes off there to save that lich. Obviously the Nog is the thing you want to focus on because it can't be healed by coil, and so it looks like a nice chocolate going off there, gonna force that Naga to TP out, and meanwhile this the Orc Elf team gets a statue kill in the process, and this expansion is going up, so really the Orc Elf team needs to buy some time now. If they can just sort of attack acolytes, things like that, just try and slow down the double undead team, that'd be very, very nice for them, just so they can expansion up and they can reap the advantages. And it looks like has been scouted out by an acolyte, I think, who's probably going there to expand himself, so the jig is somewhat up, and I just don't think this Grey Hate really have anything going for him at the moment. He has a Death Knight and a Naga and 2 fiends basically, and that's it. And unless they actually, this Tinker going to be forced to run over, just doing such nice tanking, and you can see that it's just so stupid for Simple Minds to attack anything, or to attack the Tinker, and it's just, those Dryads go down so quickly, especially with -5 armor. Just, it's so easy to focus on Dryads, and so hard to focus on this Tinker. I can't believe he's focusing down the Tinker at this point, and looks like we're seeing this Tauren Chieftain now in a bit of a position, using the speed scroll, and then using an invuln pod as well, so he will need to get out of there eventually though, and we are seeing a bit of a battle going off here still, trying to take down these destroyers, which is the obvious target, because they're just they're just so expensive, and they're just so annoying if you can't kill, if they're just left to attack your heroes, especially with all their devour magic and all that stuff. And it looks like these droids will eventually be taken down and forced back, and it looks like we're seeing a lot of focus now on this one Orc expansion, which might go down, but we're still Raiders. I'm just not confident in that decision. I just don't think it's the best thing in the world at this point. And this Tauren Chieftain now getting some more mana with a clarity, just so many clarities being used by the Tauren Chieftain, and he's gotten off so many shockers, not all of them brilliant, but he has got a huge number of them, and Grey seems to have built up a bit more of an army now. He does have his mining expansion, though he does need to be repopulating it eventually, and actually this expansion has gone down, so it looks like, are we going to be seeing this actually being retaken, or looks like he doesn't have the gold to do it, so he will need to be transferred some, or he could sell some buildings perhaps. It wouldn't be the end of the world to sell some buildings at this point. He certainly probably can sell a couple of ziggurats. I'm not sure if he has so many already, but he's unlikely to be going above sort of 40 food basically for the rest of the game, and a nice fork lightning there being used to take down that raider. And these raiders are just so easy to take down. Just obviously Orc doesn't have a good magic immune unit, which is why they're so vulnerable to things like dots and banshees and stuff like that, and just general casters. But at the same, and that just means it's so tricky for the Orc to know what to do. But I'm just not sure that Raiders the race choice here, especially considering there's just so much focus here, and Raiders aren't too useful. Meanwhile, we're seeing a lot of focus now on these Raiders. Shadowhunter does get focused down yet again, and look at this, Tinker is now level 8 and has a Orb of Lightning. Really, really nice there. Gonna be so effective against those destroyers, who are obviously the destroyers with Simple Minds, who have that 3 attack upgrades. And oh wow, Pocket Rockets. I call them Pocket Rockets at least. Obviously that's not what they're actually called. But I really like that actually being used, but at the same time I just don't feel it's that useful. It's a really fun skill to use, and I think in some situations it's really useful, but there I don't think it was useful at all. If you can get maybe a stun of the Death Knights when they're low or something, so you can focus them down without coils, that could be quite nice. Just we haven't actually had any stun from from either team, apart from Ensnare, but Ensnare hasn't really been anything at this point. I mean, all these Ancients of War marching all the way to this one mine, and this mine's definitely going down at this point. The Tinker alone could basically take him down, but the Factory and the Ancients of War just do so much damage. I mean, all these this one expansion has gone on, as have these towers, and it's just not too essential to take down these towers. It's so much better. It would have been so much better if we could try and come in and maybe try and flank this Tinker, force a TP or something. Those towers not doing anything. Ooh, well, Simple for getting a statue there. Easy for me to do, but just so annoying if you do it. I mean, this Tinker being forced to run away, and looks like one ghoul was coming in for a block there, and another Raider being focused down, just being focused down so frequently, and looks like this match is actually now being focused down. Obviously, these towers are not balanced position. You really want maybe if you put a couple up here and then a couple sort of around the top even, because actually this guy shouldn't be getting his destroyers focused down by towers, but it actually is, and a nice shockwave coming in there. Obviously it's so annoying just to be taking so much damage so constantly, and it looks like actually we're seeing a bit of a battle here going down at that top as well, but the much more interesting battle here is this Torn Chieftain trying valiantly to save his base. Does almost have enough mana for another shockwave, probably just gonna use it just to try and take the Sea Witch down to very low health, and looks like this Torn Chieftain being focused down, but he just gives back always mana. He was at 0 mana then, so dying then isn't the end of the world really for him, because he can come back with sort of 350 more mana than he died with or something. What did he have? 345, yeah, there we go. And he's going to go for another shockwave, stakes down a statue there, takes down some of these fiends at low health. He's going to need to burrow these basically soon, and the Torn Chieftain now in a bit of trouble. Will he manage to get away? Let's see, he will just about manage to get away. There's still a lot of mana on the Death Knight, and so maybe he's going to go for a focus on the Shadowhunter. That'd be quite nice at this point. And where's his ally though? Ooh, this Tinker actually going to try and, or not going to be helping his ally, so it looks like, oh, the Torn Chieftain has eventually go down. Very, very annoying position now for this Orc to be in. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to rebuy that Torn Chieftain really, or it's going to be a very long time away, and the Shadowhunter now in a lot of trouble himself, getting coiled. There's another Death Knight here getting a second coil. That Shadowhunter goes down so quickly, and so maybe it's going to turn into sort of a bit of a base race here. This Tinker does have a TPD out once the armies come back, but before they come back, they definitely want to be taking down this expansion. But no mines now going on for this undead team, so they really have to do all they can with this with the army they have. And so if Loveplus here can just focus on individual units and set up another expansion somewhere, he'll be very well set. But if he can't, then I just don't see this going his way at this point. And I'm really not sure if this Orc is even in this game anymore. I mean, he's always altering back his Torn Chieftain. That's going to take absolutely ages. You know, one Ancient of War running in here, but this base has been completely decimated now, and so there's really not too much advantage to that anyways, because there wasn't too much they could do. I mean, actually they should have pooled their money, bought an Acolyte, and sold some buildings maybe, but I would say a TP should definitely be used here. There's the TP, or no, it's a staff teleportation, so he's going to leave all his Dryades to run home by themselves. He's going to lose at least one Dryad. Actually, might just lose one. Oh no, he's actually left one here, which he's apparently forgotten about, and so that one's going to die as well. And that's going to give him Lich level 7. Oh my god. And that's going to be so nice for taking down the bases. And it looks like actually these two heroes just running about, accidentally getting caught in the tower fire. And or level 2 for both heroes. Really interesting. I wonder if he's gone for Death Pact, or if he's also gone for Animate Dead. I'd be really interested to see actually. And it looks like this Tinker now taking a lot of focus, needs to get out of here though. And we'll have to see if Actually, I guess if the Orc Elf team